Not sure how to stir fry or even what to put in it? Or maybe you've been making the exact same recipe the last 10 years and are in desperate need of a change? Well, I've got a foolproof, delicious stir fry recipe and I'm pretty sure you're gonna dig it. You can make stir fry a million different ways, whether it's chicken or shrimp or pork or the sauce is a little bit different. I'm gonna show you my take, and as a little FYI, I'm gonna pack it full of veggies, well, because how else do you get your kid to eat vegetables? If you're in the same boat, follow close. The absolute first thing we're gonna get prepped on is our beef. I've got flank steak, and I like using it because it's cheap and it's really lean, and my family digs it too. But I've got about 2 pounds here, so what I'm gonna do is cut it in half. I'm gonna save the other piece for a later date. You can pop it in the freezer, the refrigerator, whatever you wanna do until you're ready to cook it. And for the piece that I've got left, what I wanna do is slice it extremely thin on a bias and against the grain. Doing this will make sure your beef's really, really tender. There's nothing worse than biting into a chunk of beef and it's like ridiculously chewy, and bleh, not gonna happen this time. Just make sure you cut it like this. When it's done, simply add it to a bowl. Gonna season it lightly with a tad bit of salt and cracked black pepper. We're next gonna push some garlic cloves through a garlic press. You can finely mince it with a knife as well, no big deal. Add it to the top of the beef. Next, grate in some fresh ginger. And again, just like the garlic, you can absolutely fine dice this with a knife. We're gonna pour in just a little bit of soy sauce for some nice saltiness. Crack in an egg. What this is gonna do is help bring all of these ingredients together and help combine everything so that it sticks to the beef. Now sprinkle in some cornstarch using your hands or a spoon or whatever you've got lying around. Just get into that bowl, mix everything together until it is combined and coated. And this is gonna sort of act like a little bit of a marinade while we prep everything else up. But while I'm talking about cornstarch, we're gonna make a slurry. And this simply consists of cornstarch and a really little bit of water. Mix it together with a spoon or a small whisk until it's combined, and then simply set it to the side. And dude, I already know you're asking, what on earth is a slurry? It's just simply a thickening agent. You use it to thicken anything, whether it's soups or in this case, that stir fry sauce. Nothing worse than a runny sauce just kind of dripping all over the plate. We want to make sure it's completely coating the vegetables and the beef. Now, I don't know if I need it yet. Maybe I'm going to make the most bomb perfect sauce ever. So we're going to set it to the side and get prepping on our vegetables right now. When it comes to veggies for stir fry, I'm going to give you a bit of autonomy here because I think you should find out what's on sale. What do you like? Most importantly, what are your kids going to eat? What do they like? And then prep them up. For me, I'm gonna start by using some red bell peppers. So I'm gonna slice those up. You can also cut them into chunks if you'd like. Next, I've got some shiitake mushrooms that I'm going to julienne. Now I'm gonna slice up a yellow onion. I'm gonna trim up some green onions, gonna add a lot of flavor and some good color to this stir fry. We're gonna trim up some heads of broccoli and make some little broccoli florets. And then last but not least, carrots. Save yourself some time. Go buy the pre-cut matchstick carrots, or if you want to do it yourself, peel them, slice them up however you want them to look. Set them to the side. And all my commies out there know how important prep is, or mise en place, because we don't want any surprises when it comes time to stir fry everything. And if you want to check out some other vegetables, maybe do squash or zucchini, bok choy cabbage, cornichones, you know, those little mini corns like Tom Hanks is eating in the movie Big. You can do bamboo shoots, or maybe herbs like mint, cilantro, even basil would be really good in there. But now that everything's finished, we're gonna start stir frying and cooking. So bring your meat and a little bit of cooking oil over to your cooktop. We're gonna set a wok right on the cooktop on high heat. Make sure it's on high heat. I believe it's super important to learn techniques and recipes so that you can make anything at home. And when it comes to stir frying, it's an absolute art and an absolute technique, my friends. So once your pan is hot, let's add in some cooking oil. I'm gonna use canola. It only takes about 30 to 45 seconds to get this smoke rolling. Commies, pay attention. That smoke needs to roll off that oil At that point, you'll know it's time to start stir frying. Go ahead and add in your beef and immediately push it up the sides of the pan so that nothing is clumped together and every little piece of beef gets a nice little sear on it. And now you want to stir fry, so holding the pan in one hand while pushing it back and forth, use a spoon in your other hand right in the center of that wok. It will sort of move everything around as you move the pan around and making sure nothing sticks to the bottom. The beef only cooks for about 2 to 3 minutes, so at this point you want to set it to the side on a plate. Put that wok back on that cooktop on high heat. We're going to add in just a bit more oil. Now once it starts to smoke heavily again, add in your onions, red bell peppers, mushrooms, green onions. Go ahead and stir fry those vegetables for maybe 1 to 2 minutes. You only want a quick little brown sear on them while making sure they're still nice and crisp. And then at this point, I've got some boiling water. We're gonna add some salt. Whenever you're blanching or pre-boiling anything, it needs to taste like the ocean, so everything's seasoned up when you're eating it and it tastes delicious. We're gonna add in those broccoli florets. Next, the carrots. Head back over to that wok. We're now gonna make that sauce. And you know I believe homemade food from scratch just tastes better, so you know I'm making my own stir-fry sauce, not something you can buy pre-made out of a jar somewhere. So go ahead and add in some oyster sauce, little bit of sherry wine, some sugar for sweetness, and then some soy sauce. Give everything a nice stir. Now, if you can see this sauce is coating everything nicely, guess what? We don't need that slurry, that cornstarch water mixture that we made a little bit earlier. But if things are dripping off your vegetables, add in a teaspoon or 2 and mix it together. If it becomes nice and thick, boom. If not, maybe add another teaspoon or 2. You should definitely not need any more than that. You're gonna have some nasty, clumpy ball of stir fry and you're gonna be really pissed at me. So be sure to do it in moderation. Get it to the consistency you need. Now what we're gonna do is add in the blanched broccoli and carrots, followed up with our cooked beef. Stir everything together until it's combined. It smells awesome in here. And to serve it up, I'm gonna hook it up with just a little bit of cooked jasmine rice. You could also do noodles, chow mein, lo mein, or even sort of a ramen noodle if you'd like. And you know me, I'm a little bit extra, so I'm gonna garnish with some sliced green onions because I've got a few left over. And I've had a white jar of sesame seeds for a year, so I'm gonna sprinkle on a little bit of those, try to get rid of them. And it's also gonna add some nice sesame flavor. It's funny, I always say, give me 1 hour and I'll hook up an insanely delicious meal. Well, this time, I did it in 30 minutes, and you're welcome. This is a fantastic weeknight meal to serve up to family or friends, loaded with vegetables to get your kids to eat some. I know how it goes, my friends. And if you love beef, be sure to check out my steak pizzaiola recipe. It's an awesome Italian steak dinner right to your dinner table in the same amount of time, in 30 minutes, and we'll catch you on that next video.